My name is Rafael Oliveira. I've been a personal trainer for the last 5 years through the National Academy of Sports Medicine, and I've been training in the gym for over 10 years now. And I'm very excited to start this channel and share with you all the immense love I have for the gym, the philosophies I've learned over the years, and the knowledge I've accumulated through training. This is going to be the first in a series of videos where I take you through my current workout routine. I'm going to show you my technique, my mindset, and some mental cues that I focus on when I'm lifting. So today we're going to start off with some legs, so get ready for this. So to start this workout off, we're beginning with squats. I will be making future videos on how to learn a squat properly for the beginners out there, as well as a thorough warm-up to follow before you get into the workout itself. But for today, you can watch and get an idea of my technique, tempo, and the mental cues I use when squatting. Here we go. Before I even unrack the bar, I'm making sure my arms are spaced at a distance where I can keep my elbows pushed slightly forward, and this just helps me become more rigid in the muscles of my back in order to stay upright when I squat. I'm initiating the motion by creasing and sitting back in my hips first before I start bending my legs. You can think of this as sitting into a chair placed behind you slightly. From there, I'm going down in a slow and controlled way, staying in charge of the weight, never letting it control me. Once I get to the bottom, I'm pushing my heels into the ground to stand up. So I went for 4 sets here, hitting between 7 to 10 reps per set. So here's another angle from the side so you can notice that hip hinge I was talking about. Before I start to bend my legs, I'm going to crease my hips slightly and shoot them back like I'm sitting into a chair behind me. Another important point when squatting is to not let your knees cave inward. You'll notice I'm forcing my knees outward throughout the entirety of the movement. Okay, so next I moved into some Bulgarian Split Squats. Now these are awesome for bringing up imbalances in your legs and also just really hammering the quads. So I'm going to grab the weight, I'm going to keep my torso as upright as possible, and as I sink into it, I'm making sure I keep my heel firmly planted in the ground and pressing through it to stand up. I'm going down in a nice and slow tempo, 2 seconds on the way down, and then driving back up. Right from the split squats, I went right into 1.5 rep squats here with my heels slightly elevated on these plates. I'm going to warn you guys right now, these are absolutely brutal. So what you're going to do right here is you're going to start from the bottom of the movement. You're going to raise up about halfway, stop, sink back into the squat, and then stand up all the way. So slow and controlled here. We're not bouncing through the increments. Once you come up to that half rep, you're going to completely stop, sit back into the squat, and stand up. So that counts as 1 rep, and we're going to go for 10 reps of those. Alright, so next we're going to move into the hamstrings. So we're going to start this one off with a stiff-legged deadlift. So I'm grabbing the bar while I'm standing up. So it's kind of like the squat. I'm focusing first on sticking my hips back and pushing my butt backwards. Kind of like, you're thinking of like as if there was a door behind you and you're trying to close it with your butt. So that's how we're going to start the movement. We're going to stick our hips back, stick our butt back, and then we lower the bar slowly. Always keeping that bar very close to your legs on the way down. If you let it stray too far away from you, you're going to end up straining your lower back. Another thing which is extremely important on these is to keep a nice straight back and a neutral spine during the movement. So I achieve this by keeping my head and chest lifted throughout the entirety of the set.
Okay, so right from the deadlifts without rest, I went right into a lying dumbbell curl, also to hit the hamstrings. So here you want to make sure you really push your hips into the bench throughout the motion. You're going to grab the dumbbell in between your feet and you're going to curl that weight up towards you. Slow and controlled, especially on the way down, trying to make sure your hips don't come off that bench. The more you can keep those hips pressed into the bench, the more hamstring activation you're going to feel and the less on your lower back. Okay, so to round the session off, we're going to finish with the calves. Now, admittedly, I have some pretty awful calves. It's definitely a lagging body part for me, but I'm trying to bring them up this year, so that's a big goal of mine. So I'm elevating my heels on some plates, and I'm sinking into it and getting a deep stretch on those calves. I hold it for about 2 seconds, and then drive up onto my toes and squeeze at the top for 2 seconds. And I went for sets of 12 on these.
Guys, leg session completed. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And stay tuned for the next video. We're going to be hitting some chest, shoulders, and triceps. So again, if you like this video, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Take care, guys.